Hi, my name is James and I'm the founder here at FinerWorks. Today I'd like to talk to you about our new wood prints. Now, if you've been following say our newsletter and the various products that we offer on our website, you may already be familiar with the wood prints that we produce. We've made some changes in how we produce them. So, whereas before we printed directly to a type of film, a laminate you could call it, a very thin, clear laminate. This laminate was then heat melted utilizing a heat press to the wood, and it allowed the film and the inks underneath that film to kind of contour and develop the texture of the wood and become almost like it was just infused into the wood itself. One of the problems though with that method is that we felt that we were lacking some of the detail in the darker areas, so we needed to find a way where we could improve the output quality so that the imagery that was produced on the wood looked much better, especially in the darker tones, because that's where we saw a lot of detail was lacking in the prints that we were producing. After some research, we did figure out a way where we could print directly to the surface itself and not to some sort of film laminate. So now we're using a new method where we actually print directly onto the surface. Now you may wonder, how do we do that and what sort of printers are we utilizing? Well, believe it or not, we're utilizing the same printers that we use to print the majority of the type of canvas that we offer, as well as our fine art papers. So it is the actual giclée process. We're using the Canon printers with the Canon Lucia inks. Now a wood print, granted, is very different than a regular print on one of our high quality fine art papers or even on canvas. There is some texture to it, of course, the wood texture of the veneer or the panels that we're printing to. But you don't have that white point, and you have the underlying wood pattern, which gives every print kind of a unique look, an organic look, if you will, if that would be the appropriate term to utilize. We do get a few questions on a regular basis in regards to the wood prints, and some of these have come in since we started utilizing this new method. The first, of course, do you print direct to the wood surface? And yes, we do now, whereas prior we didn't. Can you apply your own sort of coating or finish to the wood print? Yes, you can. You want to experiment. Now, I should mention that we do apply a protective coating now with this new method. It's the same coating we utilize on our canvas. It's basically a clear acrylic, or an acrylic clear coat, water-based clear coat that's sprayed over the wood surface. The next question is, are wood prints archival? No, I mean, we're printing on wood. Wood is not an archival surface, but it's not going to break down on you and deteriorate anytime soon, so it's something that you should be able to pass on to your kids. How about whites? And this is a question that I think, because sometimes people have a misunderstanding what's involved with the wood print and the technology that's being used, that we use. Every now and then a customer will ask us, let's say they submit a picture of a snowy landscape, okay? They wonder, well, what happened to their snow? How come they're just seeing the wood pattern? They're not seeing their snow. There's no bright whites in the image. Well, it's because the printers that we use, and most of the printers, that are utilized with modern printing technology, does not utilize white inks. There are some exceptions, okay, but white is really reliant on the surface that it's being printed to. Because we're not printing on a white board or a white wood panel, your white is only going to be as white as the wood itself. But that's the beauty of wood, because you want that underlying texture, that wood pattern to show through. And if it was pure white, you wouldn't get it, and it wouldn't look like a wood print, because we want that woodsy look. Another question that has been quite common in the past is, can you paint over it? Absolutely. Oils, acrylics, what have you, whichever type of paints you prefer, you shouldn't have any problems. I would advise you to experiment maybe with a smaller print, see how that works for you. Be careful with brushes that have very rigid bristles. While we apply a protective coating, which is related to one of the questions we get, it may or may not be enough to protect it against very harsh bristles. So a very harsh brush may be a little bit dangerous on a wood print, because just because of just the impact of the bristles could potentially damage it. Going back to what looks good on wood, that a lot of that has to do with your own personal tastes and so forth, but generally the type of imagery that is going to perform best on a wood surface is going to be images where you don't have a whole lot of darks in it, because you don't want those darks to cover up that wood pattern. You want that wood pattern to show through. Now, utilizing this new method that we are getting more of the dark, or more of the wood pattern showing up through those dark areas, as well as getting the details of the image itself in those dark areas. But generally, though, the darks, if the wood pattern is too hard to perceive, you kind of lose that effect. So light, airy images, in my opinion, look great. One of the other things, one of my favorites, is when I see that a customer submits like a sketch or a drawing, maybe a pen and ink drawing, even some digital drawings where it's just a line drawing over wood. It looks really cool. It looks like someone actually drew the image directly onto the wood. And we're already seeing artists that will draw in their composition and they paint over it. So and sometimes you think, oh well, it looks great as just a drawing, but then they go and paint over it. So but anyway, those are the type of images that I feel look great on wood, and also portraits. Bridal portraits, anniversary photos, family portraits. Some landscapes, and it depends, because you don't want the wood pattern to detract from the image itself. It's really going to be up to you to decide, what works best and what doesn't. Every print is unique because of the wood pattern, so just keep that in mind. We can't really predict, how, where the pattern is going to be in your image. If you have a big, light expanse of sky, we can't predict what that pattern is going to look like. But again, that's kind of the beauty of the wood prints, because it'll make every print, even if you replicate that same image on wood over and over again, every one will be unique. Anyway, that's what we have on our new wood prints. If you have any questions, please send us an email at customercare@finerworks.com. You can also give us a call at 1-800-567-8594. Again, my name is James, and it was a pleasure talking to you, and look forward to talking to you again. Thank you. Bye.